So it seems every day now there is more Tesla terrorism. And prior to this, it was like people keying cars, people, graffiti, setting cars on fire at dealerships, which I'm like, I don't know what the manager of that car dealership had to do with Elon Musk, but okay. There was the guy digging in his rear and putting his booty juice all over the car. So that's been the type of Tesla terrorism up to this point. Well, today we found out actual bombs were found at a Tesla showroom in Austin, according to the Daily Mail. It said multiple incendiary devices were found inside a Tesla showroom in Austin, Texas on Monday morning as nationwide threats against CEO Elon Musk continue. Austin Police Department officers were called to the electric vehicle showroom just after 8 a.m. after an anonymous caller reported that there were bombs placed inside the building. Authorities rushed to the scene and located multiple suspicious devices at the Tesla dealership. Austin Police Bomb Squad were also called to help, and that the incendiary devices, which are designed to cause large-scale explosive violence, were taken into police custody without incidents, and they don't know who did it. No arrests have been made. So no arrests have been made. That is starting to have dangerous consequences here. And, you have Elon Musk over the weekend reacting to Jamal Bowman, which I want to get into. But I first want to get your thoughts, gentlemen, on the level in which this has escalated so quickly against, again, a man who has been asked by President Trump to root out waste, fraud, and corruption in our government, which, by the way, for you dum-dums on the other side, because I know you don't realize this, that's your money. It's not government money. Like they don't.
Assuming they have jobs.
Well, that's fair, Stu.
Yeah, come
that's
on.
My first. That's
taxes.
My first.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's my first flaw. That's the problem, is that they're benefiting from all of this waste, fraud, and corruption because they're just leeches in society, and we're the ones who are paying for it all. But they have this concept of like government money, and it's like, no, that's just our money. He's actually helping you. And so now you have the level, that we've reached where we have actual according to the Daily Mail report, we have actual bombs now being placed, which I'd like to know why there was an anonymous tip that there were bombs. Like maybe they just wanted the exposure headline. I don't know. Because it seems like if you wanted to plant bombs, you wouldn't call in and report that there were bombs. You would just wait for the bombs to go off.
That was a tactic the IRA used to do, as I knew, because I lived through it in the UK. They would call up and they would say, hey, listen, there are bombs. And what they would normally do was that would happen so they could get the human beings out of the situation. And then they'd bomb it. And then there'd be infrastructure damage.
Okay.
Right, so you don't get the negativity of killing someone, and you just, because everyone's like, it's just a dealership.
Just
right.
property.
It's
Yeah.
property.
Just like during the BLM riots, it's like massive record amounts of property damage. You're like, well, you can file an insurance claim. That's fine.
But if you remember, 5 seconds ago, there was an insurrection that was the most violent insurrection forever, in ever. And now they're actually planting bombs, and they just dismiss it like it doesn't matter. But look, I mean, the idiots, and that's all they are. They're absolute morons that actually figured out that when they're defacing other people's cars, there are people on their side that bought them, especially like in California, right, where it's like something like 70% of Tesla owners in California are liberals. They finally figured out, because they're so dumb, that they're actually attacking people on their own side, right? So now they're going for infrastructure. But look, I mean, this happened with the Weather Underground, right? I mean, this happened back in the day. This is not new. And what it does show is that they are absolutely on the ropes and they are panicked. But we all knew, we've said this over and over and over again, that this is where it's always going to lead with the left. Mm-hmm. This is, that if you, how many times have we said this, Sarah? If you call someone a Nazi, if you call someone a white supremacist, if you call someone racist, then you can justify committing violent acts against them because those things are evil. So it's really, really important. And the left is absolutely brilliant at doing this. They're brilliant at commandeering the language. And we have to fight them every step of the way when they do that. Like, not just dismiss, they're Nazis, whatever. And I know, look, I've been guilty of that. I'm like, it just means that you disagree with me. No, but it also means that I can commit an act of violence against you because Nazis were evil. And this is really, really important. I do think that it's coordinated. I do think that it is not grassroots at all, because as you said, look at what happens when you get a grassroots movement that goes to protest the Department of Education. There's like 4 weirdos, and
this is one that I could believe is
this is absolutely coordinated
and
funded.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
We'll find that out eventually. We will know. Yeah. We'll eventually track that down over some period of time and find out what organizations were funding all this, because there's no way this is just organic. I totally agree with you. And to build off your point on the violence, the legal definition of domestic terrorism, you have to be doing the violence, the destruction to influence policy, right? So that's part of it. The other part of it is you have to have human life has to be in danger, and so they're walking this line of trying to say it's just property.
Yeah.
When you're putting bombs in a place, I don't think people are really going to buy that, but that might be why they called in the threat. It's fascinating, though, because if you think about their logic, if you go into the left, the mind virus for a moment.
No, thank you.
No, just go with me here for
thought
just
experiment.
a thought experiment. If you're blowing up Teslas are electric vehicles. Electric vehicles stop global warming. Global warming is our most existential threat, which is threatening to kill all these people. So by blowing up Teslas, you're making global warming worse. So in a way, you really are making, at least in their world, lives end, which is kind of hilarious. And you think about just a few years ago, how insane this would have been to suggest that the left would be at electric vehicle dealerships writing resist on the front and lighting the cars on fire, while conservatives, and I did this myself, I was spite test driving a Tesla the other day.
Yeah, me too.
Because I hate these people so much. It is the greatest marketing tool of all time. They've made somehow conservatives like electric vehicles. How did this happen? And it's so insane how fast it happened, and how crazy it is. And I came back to the same thought of when we were talking about, lighting these things on fire, the left is doing that. Can you imagine for a second, go back a few years, that it was conservatives putting bombs in Tesla dealerships and lighting them on fire because they didn't like the earth or whatever? It would be the lead story on every newscast for a month at least. And here we are with this. It was the Daily Mail that reported this. I didn't see it anywhere else. Maybe a couple people have picked up on the reporting by now. But how is that left to a foreign outlet to report on bombs in a dealership in the middle of one of our biggest political disagreements right now? It's absolutely fascinating.
This is just posted. The FBI has launched a task force to track down and arrest the terrorists involved in the Tesla attacks.
That's good.
But that's how bad it is, that they're deploying personnel from the FBI's counterterrorism division to carry out the operation, and so that they've got 48 reports of Tesla-related incidents that they are working on.
But here's the other thing as well about you talk about electric vehicles. What they've managed to do, right? Because conservatives wouldn't buy a Tesla because they know that the climate change.
I still won't, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I just won't.
I would. I did the same thing. I went and I drove one. I did.
What'd you drive?
I drove the Model Y, but I'd want the Cybertruck, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Because I'd want to be in Aliens, because it looks like it's in Alien.
It does.
Alien.
Okay, can I just say, I do think that it's ugly. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
It's very ugly.
I think it's the coolest.
No, but I don't know if you guys saw, I think it's Las Vegas Police Department. They just were gifted or something, these new Cybertrucks. And seeing the Cybertrucks with the sirens and the lights and stuff and watching that, I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Only because it reminds me of something that should be in RoboCop.
Right.
And then it kind of is when it's used for the police. And I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I don't want to drive it. It's ugly.
See, I think they're super cool. And but here's the difference. What they've done is we know that it's BS, right? We know that climate change is not real. And I've got a friend of mine who's a PhD in geophysics, and he can absolutely tell you how it's not true. But the reason why people are looking at them now is actually because they're very, very, very well made.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They are the best electric car on.
And the security features, and I mean, they really
That's the
are
stupid
like.
thing. They've got Sentry mode with 9 cameras on, and people are like, "I'm gonna go with my boot." You're like, you guys are so stupid. But again, this is because, and we know this, and we've said this again 1,000 times, that the left, they base their ideology on nothing that is tangible, that is real, that is factual. Mm-hmm. It's all emotion based, and this is how they get manipulated by the people that are higher up that just want to move the needle by using useful idiots and just poking them.
Which begs the question: how much responsibility do those people bear when they are the ones knowing that they are amping up all these dumb, useful idiots who are going out and committing these crimes. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.